Welcome to How Preschool Teachers Do It.
I'm Cindy.
I'm Alison.
And we have a combined 55 years of experience working with children, families, and experts in early education.
We are not random influencers.
No, we are not. Whether you are new or have been our podcast peeps since 2018, we are thrilled you found us. Hi, preschool peeps.
Hi, peeps.
Welcome back.
Yeah.
We want to welcome people from around the world and the country, too. And we're super excited about today's. I don't know if they'll see why, but I am super excited about today's shout-outs.
Okay, so here they go.
Go ahead.
Let's see if you get excited. We are shouting out Bavaria in Germany, so that's cool.
That is very cool. I don't think we've shouted out Germany before, have we?
I think we have, but not Bavaria.
Oh, okay.
I think like Berlin maybe, but Bavaria.
Oh, maybe.
And this one's cool because we've never shouted them out before. And as you can tell, if you're watching the YouTube, Cindy's very excited about it. We're shouting out Alaska.
We are. We were like, the two of us were like, Alaska?
Yeah.
People are listening in Alaska. And then I realized my cousin was recently there. It could have been her.
Could have been her, but maybe it's not. Maybe it's somebody else.
Could have been her and her
Maybe she spread
husband.
the word while she was there.
My cousin's husband is from Alaska, and so I'm just thinking like, could be them. I don't know.
Could be them.
But
Could be their friends.
If
Maybe
you're
they're
thinking,
spreading the word.
if you're in Alaska and you're thinking I'm not Cindy's cousin, then
Hey,
hey,
hi. How
thanks
are you?
for finding
I'm not
us.
Cindy's
Thank you for
cousin.
finding us. I think one of the reasons we're so excited about that is that Alaska is like far from us because we're on the East Coast.
That's the furthest most point I think in the United States. Maybe Hawaii, but
I don't know because I am not good at geography.
I just know Alaska's very, 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 very close to like Russia, right? Like there's only that little itty bitty strait or something in between the two. I feel like you could walk right across when it's on.
They are close.
Yeah, I feel like Russia's closer to Alaska than we are in the United States.
In the mainland,
on the
mainland.
Yeah,
I think because
that's
they
true.
are the United States, but on the mainland.
Yeah.
I think that what you need to do if you're in Alaska and you are listening or watching us on YouTube, you need to go and tell everybody, but you also maybe get a megaphone and yell over to Russia. I don't know if you can do that.
I don't know if we've ever shouted out Russia.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I would have to look back in our records. We do keep records, by the way.
We do keep records. I have a very extensive list of everybody we've shouted out, at least in the modern times, because we used to do shout outs a couple years ago and then stopped. And if in the future we shout out Russia, I think it's because of this moment right now.
It is possible.
That they heard that they were not shouted out and they wanted to be, and here we are.
We are just super excited that people in Alaska found us.
Yes, I think that's cool.
Yes, I think it's very cool. Just like I think when they find us in every state, it's cool. But it is super cool
really
because it's really far from us.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, folks, we're not here to talk about things that I didn't do well in school, like geography. We're here to talk about a different topic that I did do well in school, and that is reading.
Reading. Yeah.
Yes. So Allison came upon an article. It's actually written by a publisher. Isn't it HarperCollins?
HarperCollins.
HarperCollins, written by a publisher, which tells me perhaps the publishing company was thinking about the popularity of reading.
Yeah.
And reading among children, because I don't know, maybe they have children's books and it's reflected in the sales or something. You know why I think that? I'll tell you why I think it real quick.
Yeah.
Because there was research done about children and outdoor play because laundry detergent companies were making less money because fewer children were getting their clothes dirty.
Dirty?
Yes. So that's what started the whole campaign about get children out in nature to play. It was the detergent companies.
That is interesting.
It was called the campaign was called Dirt is Good, Free the Children. In this case, we have an article from a publishing company, which tells me that the slogan should be something like reading is good. Please get them to read.
Right, because it doesn't really say what prompts the research, just that it says new research reveals that parents are losing the love of reading aloud. So they are reading aloud less to their children and they don't find it enjoyable, and therefore the love of reading is not getting passed down to the children.
You know, when I think about the way the world is now, with people working so hard, so many hours, the prices of things, because of the prices of things. When I think about the fact that, people are more often looking to turn off and numb their brain than use it when they're not
yeah.
at work and when they're not having to think really hard. And just the busyness of our lives. You know, children are overscheduled, which means the adults who are running them around are overscheduled. Life's changed from what it has years ago, when you might have had a family where only one parent works. Or you might have had a family that just sort of had the emotional, mental wherewithal to spend a different kind of time with their children, which, listen, in today's chaotic and somewhat outrageous world, I understand that people are more overwrought, overwhelmed. I totally get it. The fact remains that for some reason today's parents of young children are not finding pleasure in reading with their children, when, you know, not too long ago we used to sit and read with our children and storytell with our children, and you know, somehow that's going by the wayside, according to this research.
It is, according to this, by significant amounts. So it says fewer than half of parents of children up to the age of 13 say reading aloud to children is fun. So there's
less than half.
Less than half find fun. It says parents who grew up with technology themselves are significantly more likely to view reading as a subject to learn rather than a fun or enriching activity.
That's interesting. I wonder if, like, they as children, if there are people who struggled with reading, that's why they think it's a subject to learn, rather than something that can be enjoyable. And perhaps, just going to take a guess, that some of the things we were forced to read in school that were not enjoyable should have been rethought.
Correct.
Because we want people to know that reading is joyful.
Yes.
And I don't know about you, but I was meant to read some things, or made to read some things that made me think this is terrible.
Right. But I think in the past, like if we were reading things at school that were not enjoyable to read, when we got home, our parents would read things that were maybe enjoyable, right? So there was maybe this balance.
They at least made a distinction, and it was a thing when we would say we were reading for school and reading for pleasure.
Right, reading for fun, yeah.
Reading for pleasure was a thing. But there were also a lot of, I don't know if this still exists, it might, but there were a lot of these like summer reading incentives. I remember when I was a child, the library, or when my children were young especially, the library hosted summer reading competitions.
Yes.
If you read a certain amount of books, something would happen.
My library does this now for adults.
Do they?
I'm in it for an adult.
For adults?
For adults.
Really?
Yeah, which is cool. Like you put in the books that you read. It's like a Google form, and then they draw it like a raffle, and you win gift cards and stuff. But I'm an adult. I don't really need the motivation to read. I read constantly, but I think that's cool that they do that. But I know what you mean. Like, remember, like there used to be like a pizza place that would have it, and you would go, and you would turn. I don't remember how it worked. You turned in how many books you read, and then you would get like free pizza.
You get free pizza. I remember that, and it was a national chain. That's why we all know.
Yeah, it was a national chain, and you would get like a thing, and they would hang it up in the restaurant, and so you can go and be like, oh, there's my name. You know, like it was cool.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah, I don't know if that exists anymore anywhere.
I don't know. I would be so interested to know if these things still exist.
Yeah.
But even regardless, even aside from that, there was a lot of information. And in school, they would even say, here's your school reading assignment, and you also need to read something for pleasure. Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't know that they even say that anymore or do that anymore. I don't know. Maybe some of them do.
I don't know.
But definitely, according to these statistics in the article, families are not doing it. What else did you find in that article?
More than 1 in 5 boys, 22%, aged 0 to 2, are rarely or never read to. Only 29% of boys in this age group are read to daily, compared to 44% of girls, underscoring early disparities in exposure to books.
That is gender bias, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
I wonder why that is. Why is the perception, the bias, that girls need to be read to, but boys don't? Because they're supposed to be more physical?
More physical. That's my guess, is that...
In 2025? Really?
Right, but that's ridiculous.
In 2025, especially with what goes on now with the push for children to go to college...
Correct.
We would still think that you don't need to read with boys?
Right.
I don't understand.
Right, I don't understand that.
I don't get it.
I don't get that.
But think about, when I think about books for children, I've seen a lot of books based on girl products. Girl-oriented products.
Okay, or girl-oriented characters.
Yes.
Because I'm thinking of one in my head that is
yes.
a whole series.
Lots of female-oriented books.
But not so much for boys.
Maybe there aren't enough of them for boys. I'm sure they exist.
Yeah.
But maybe there just aren't enough that would capture a boy's interest.
Right.
It reminds me, when we were young, we had certain characters that would capture a boy. Like we had the Encyclopedia Brown books.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And even before that, and this is like, I think before my time, they had, what was the one? It wasn't Nancy Drew. It was, oh my God. Now I can't think of it. But it was a boy detective thing. Yeah. Not Nancy Drew was the girls' version. The boy was something else. But there were like these books where the main character was a boy, like them, sort of, or someone they could look up to.
Right, but it's so sad that boys are not represented in books. That, like...
I mean, I think they're represented in books, but, I don't know. I don't think
in a way that allows the boys to relate to them, though?
Maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's not relatable. If anyone can think of what I'm talking about, not Nancy Drew, the other one for boys, let me know.
To you.
Yeah. All
right, to continue with this, it says the crisis in boys reading for pleasure continues from infancy to adolescence, as only 12% of 12 to 13-year-old boys read for fun. A compelling new study shows social book groups can give boys space to express emotions.
You mean like a book club for the boys
only,
so that the boys can come together, talk about what they've read. Isn't it true that
feel
book
comfortable
clubs
sharing within the book?
Think about even adult book clubs. When I think about who I know, it's women.
It's women. Mm-hmm. It's women in the book clubs.
Mostly, anyway.
And I, as a patron of my library, I go to my library like once or twice a week.
Wow.
I read a lot.
I read, but I'm not in the library all the time.
I'm in the library a lot. And I was just there yesterday. And almost, I want to say 90% of the people that I see walking in there are women.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. To the point that when a man walks in and is like next to me looking at the new books, I was like, oh, that's nice. Like I notice it because it's almost always women.
That's so interesting.
Right? So even I think like this goes all the way up to like adulthood where men don't read them. But what's interesting is a lot of the books I read, not most, but a good majority of the authors that I read are men.
Here's the bottom line, though. This has to be instilled in early childhood.
Yes.
So the fact that young boys are not being read to, that today's families are like not finding reading with children pleasurable.
Right.
We need to think about why that is. Why, and we can't just say, oh, it's because their generation is so into technology. I don't think that that's a reason. I think there's got to be a reason. The way reading was treated with them when they were young.
Right. I don't think it's just starting now. It has to be something that maybe started in the generation before them. Like maybe that generation didn't read to them and now they're really not. I don't know. I'm not sure if it's even in this article.
I don't know. But I feel like there has to be a more deep-seated reason than you own an iPad.
This says the new data also revealed that many parents don't find enjoyment in reading to their children, with only 40% of parents saying it is fun. Parents face increasing pressures, with 34% of parents of 0 to 13-year-olds wishing they had more time to read to their children. Since 2012, there has also been a sharp increase in the number of parents reporting that children have too much schoolwork to read books. 49% in 2024 compared to 25% in 2012. That's a 25% jump.
The homework has to stop.
In 12 years.
The homework has to be reduced or stopped. So they're being given way too much homework to have time to do what they need to do to lay a foundation for their future, which is read.
Here's a quote by a woman named Alison David from the Consumer Insight Director at Farshore and HarperCollins Children's Books. Being read to makes reading fun for children, so it's very concerning that many children are growing up without a happy reading culture at home. It means they are more likely to associate books with schoolwork, something they are tested on and can do well or badly at, not something they would enjoy. The good news is when children are read to frequently, they very quickly come to love it and become motivated to read themselves. Children who are read to daily are 3 times as likely to choose to read independently compared to children who are only read to weekly at home. It's never too late to start or resume reading to your child.
It is never too late, they say. So if you're first, we have a lot of early childhood professionals who listen to and watch this podcast.
Yes.
And we're not here to shame families, to make them feel bad.
Yeah.
We're here to recognize that they are facing particular challenges that preclude them reading with their children. And one of the things that we can do to make that possible for them is thinking about what sort of things am I sending home and how much, right? Right. What am I sending home for them to do? How much? What is their what are their lives like?
Yeah.
And is there any way that we can offer support to these people so that their lives can be eased a little bit and they will have the time and wherewithal to read with their children, right?
Yes.
There are also people raising children listening to us, whether you're an early childhood professional or not. There are people raising children. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, you know, they're right. I have not enjoyed reading with my child. I don't read with my child enough. Like, they're right. I'm not figuring out my time so that I can do that. I really encourage you to think about that. Think about how you can take pockets of time, even if you have to kind of take it from something else. Don't we always make compromises with our time?
Yes. Yes.
We always, something has to sit while we do another thing. We don't actually multitask. You are, when you are doing something, something else is getting less of your attention.
Yes.
So we can make an intentional decision to say, reading with my child's going to get my attention today. That other thing I'll do tomorrow.
Right.
I'm not even saying, if you're somebody who hasn't been reading with your child, I'm not even saying you have to do it every day. Just if you've never done it, just start somewhere with, maybe I'm going to read every other day, or I'm going to, I'm going to take the time. You know what, folks? Here's the truth about young children. They're going to grow up. So the time that you spend sitting with them, cuddling with them, reading with them is not infinite. It's finite. It's going to end.
It's true.
At some point, they're not going to want to sit and cuddle with you and do that.
Right.
You have to take advantage of these early childhood years to create that bond.
Yeah.
One of the ways you can create that bond is to sit and read with children.
Yeah.
Right? And that is what lays a foundation for the future. They need to value reading, not only because they're going to have to do it for education, but also because it's a nice way to relax, take care of yourself and your mental health, to escape the challenges of the current world and go into another world.
Yes. I don't know what my life would be like if I didn't read on a daily basis. And it's because I need it for my mental health. So, like, it helps me escape. It helps me forget about my troubles sometimes. It helps me, like, just be in a different world for a little while. It helps my imagination because you're imagining the places while you're reading them. I don't think I'd be as relaxed.
It also fires the brain. Like,
it does.
I'm reading, I'm learning, I'm thinking. I personally love memoirs, autobiographies, biographies. Yeah. I learn about other people's lives, which I find so interesting. So it's part escape, but it's also part, and part pleasure, but it's also part interesting, fascinating. Yeah. And we need children to know that reading is fascinating because, frankly, it's how they learn about their world. Yeah. The willingness to read as they get older and continue into adulthood, right? How are they adding to their knowledge once they're out of school if they're not readers? Other than like documentaries and stuff like that, but that isn't the only thing. They need to I think they need to value reading so that they will get the most out of the world around them, you know? Yeah. So I hope that you will think about this, and no one's trying to make you feel bad and no one's trying to make you wrong. We're just saying that the research is showing that something that actually was good. You know, Alice and I often talk about things that were not good from generations past.
This is actually something good.
Something that was actually good from generations past, the fact that they would sit with many of us and read with us is now just going by the wayside, and we can't let it. Yeah. So, you know, if we're not going to take the things that were not so great from the past generations, can we please take the thing that is? Please?
Please.
Think about that. This is a thing that was good. Yeah. Don't discard that. What do they say? Don't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
The bathwater, yeah.
I know you're going to throw out some things from the past, but don't throw this out. Yeah. Go grab it if you have thrown it out. Go get it out of the water, dust it off, dry it off, and sit and read with children for a little bit. Yeah. The children's wonder at it all can make it enjoyable for you. Yeah. When I sit and read with children, they're so into it. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I love that.
It's amazing.
I love that. So okay, folks. I hope you'll think about that, and you will go ahead and take some action based on it and be a responder to this podcast. And if you don't know what I'm talking about being a responder, 2 episodes ago.
2 episodes ago, yes.
2 episodes ago.
Yeah.
I think it's something we're going to continually refer to.
I think so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, preschool peeps, we will catch you next time. In the meantime, if you have something to add, you want to look for something to say or ask, you know how to find us. You can send us a message on Facebook or through our contact form on our website, How Preschool Teachers Do It. And if you prefer to use a QR code, it's on YouTube. If you go to YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe, as they say,
Yeah.
as it is done.
Yes.
All right, folks, we'll catch you next time.
Bye, peeps.